Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is a bit of a different reading. It's a long form journey using an archetype. It's like a long form journey style archetypal reading and activation, is what I feel. Um, it is offered in alignment with God, the Most High Source, creator of all things, beyond judgment, beyond any fear. So there's nothing in this message that is meant to persuade or confront, um, accuse, or harm. Nothing here is directed at any individual group. It's an individual transmission only. So if at any point your body or your heart or your intuition feels resistance or a sense of discomfort, if your your heart is telling you this is not for me, you're free to pause, step away, or just simply let this pass. There's no obligation to listen. This moves only through consent and resonance and readiness. Um, it will not attach or override free will. So may what is shared here reach only those that it is meant to reach, and may all others remain undisturbed and protected and at peace. So, um, this reading, it really speaks to old souls, and this is going to be kind of a preview so that you'll be able to tell or discern whether or not um, this is going to be for you. But it carries themes of the underworld, okay, and the cave here as a sort of initiation, right? Um, we have gnosis, which is earned through lived experience. We have, let's see, there's humility, patience. This is someone who is more in quiet service to humanity. It's a call um, to visibility and rightful value. It's recognition, right? It's recognition by spirit, like the way that I feel the energies coming in. It's like offered by the Most High, it is offering by the source, a call from the heart to step forward for those individuals who know what it is like to be that seed here, buried and birthed in the underworld. Okay. So it's not a prediction, it's not a warning, and it's not for everyone. Um, it's for old souls. It's for those who came into this world carrying the light of God, Source, the creator of all things, that light within them, beyond good and evil, black and white, that light that is in within us. It just is, right? It doesn't really care about feelings or facts. That light is the source of life, and from the way I experience it. Okay. So before I speak any further, I just ask for grace to speak clearly, to speak truth without fear, and grace to remain aligned with the light that is within me. But there are energies in this world that really thrive in the shadows. Okay. These are those who would sow discord, confusion, let's see, ill will through deception and manipulative tactics. Those who have told and lived so many lies, they can't even remember what they said yesterday, who they said it to, or how they said it, right? Those who have sought to steal, kill, to destroy the very light within humanity. All right. Those, they wear masks. They are your shapeshifters. They are the ones that betray, right? The gaslighting, that sort of thing. And so many have in this underworld, right? Have worn so many masks that they lose sight of their own truth. But this message is not really for them. It's meant for those who have experienced the energies that they have brought about. Those that are often overlooked, right? We have the shunned leader here under the shapeshifter, the betrayed king, the father with the nectar. This nectar is that source energy, it is that life energy. To those who never really sought power or control or recognition, it's not really what they were looking for at all. And what many do not realize is that some souls were sent into this world not to control it, not to dominate it, right? But to be that witness, that silent witness, to move through it, to search for that part of us which still remembers humanity, right? They're the ones that we often call earth angels, and they rarely recognize themselves as such. Earth angels, that's, you really won't hear people going around saying, I'm an earth angel, you know? But it's not because they lack awareness, right? It's more because they were the seed that was planted in the underworld. And so their humility is in their bones. They were humbled from the beginning. They walked in that humility of being the shamed dreamer. They've had to overcome those glorified burnouts where stages where we continuously give. We give out of the love of our heart. We give for the joy of it. And we give freely. It's like giving is their gift in a lot of ways. And when I say giving, it's not just monetary, right? We give our love, we give of our sustenance, we give through joy and helping one another, even in the smallest of ways. The earth angel is the one who really needs to learn how to receive, because they often do go unrecognized, unnoticed. They just witness. They observe things, they feel them, they endure them. Thing is the light that they're carrying within them is not a passive light, and many probably have burnt a few bridges. But they learn in that journey, right? It is a journey of wisdom, of remembering. And so there comes a time in that walk of being humbled, of being portrayed as something they are not, so that they will be shunned, right? Let's not give these guys any attention over here, right? Those who see the light within you, the greatness within you, the beauty, the peace. They try to stop that. And it's a lifelong journey. Like I said, this seed is planted, conceived, birthed into the underworld. But their light reveals something that the gaslighter, the betrayer, the shapeshifters, the false masks, the liars, the deceivers, the manipulators, the thieves. They don't see it. They don't realize it. They don't understand it. That light is here to reveal those energies. They endure the suffering, their existence, their walk, their survival, the fact that they stand. It reveals what has been buried. It exposes the roots, the grubs. And it doesn't have to argue about it. It doesn't even have to persuade anyone, because eventually people start to recognize from where to where you came, and they can't believe it. It's almost miraculous that you survived. And many times it is miraculous. Yeah. But in that process, they turn over the soil. They expose what has been hidden. And it's not to shame anyone, because where is it? The shamed dreamer. They know what that shame is. They wouldn't cast it on even their enemies. It's to bring truth, to bring healing. So, what this is saying to me is that what has been done in secrecy will come out into the open, and it won't even be forced. It's going to be through the alignment that happens within that collective. This collective, the one that is being called forward, the one collective that is ready to step forward, to stand in that light. I was sitting and something said to me, forgotten souls. And I went back to, the old Appalachian days, just thinking back at how many have walked these trails before us that are not remembered, that were never really known, right? And Spirit was like, no, this collective, they've never been forgotten. You're not late. You haven't been misplaced. You've been on a sort of standby, right? Not in fear. Patiently waiting. You probably felt a deep calling, a deep knowing that there is something about the experience that you had that is here to serve a greater purpose than what you have known. And it's time to allow your presence and your truth to be known, not in confrontation, not to dominate anything, but just through the pure embodiment of that light, of that truth, the truth of the path and the life and the experiences that you have lived and survived and conquered and healed through. You're here to heal, not only yourself. This is a collective that they're healers, they're silent healers. They've been scattered about, right? It seems. We're all strategically placed, though. We all come into contact with other souls who we recognize those forgotten pieces. And because you are the light and the love that was sent to heal this earth, you bring healing to them one by one, little by little, just in your presence. They're the ones that people are drawn to that would sit down and tell you their whole story. If you've experienced that, you know what I'm talking about. Strangers walking through parking lots, through hospitals. And Spirit says, it's like you were sent here to gather together what has been scattered about, to remind those who feel forgotten that they were never truly abandoned. For there will not be one forgotten soul. Not one. You are the witness. You, earth angels, are the witnesses that they could not burn and they could not bury. So if you feel this stirring around in you, know that you're not being asked to step forward and fight, right? You're just simply being asked to stand in the light and the truth of who you are, and that's enough. This underworld is not just for, it's not just a darkness for the sake of saying, oh, that's dark, that's ugly. The underworld is a place that is shaped. It is shaped, it is built by fear. It is distortion. It is betrayal and suffering and pain. It's where the truth, right, becomes obscured. It's where our survival instincts become dominant, where we learn to doubt our own perception, right? Where the dreamer comes out and is shamed. It's the darkest terrain of the psyche, this right here, the underworld. The place most people avoid, they look away from. It's too horrific to acknowledge. Scroll past it, flip past it, click past it, turn it off, shut it off, don't look at it. And yet this seed survived there. This wasn't the only challenge, because this seed came with a riddle to solve. And the riddle is, who am I? Who am I in this underworld? Reminds me of a reading that I did, it was over a year ago, I believe, called Rumpelstiltskin. And who am I? Some of you might recognize that. It's not a question about what do I do or where do I go or what am I worth? It's who am I really, really in the midst of all the pain and the suffering? Who am I? And the trick to the riddle is that it only holds power until it's answered. But it offers us an opportunity to see our true character. Yeah. To refine it. To find the gold beneath the clay. Who are we really in that energy, surrounded by so much distortion? because I don't feel like I'm speaking to someone who doesn't know who they are. I feel this riddle has been solved by many. We have the Underworld. I don't know if you can see here, but we have the Mentor, and we have the Sustainer is under here, and Gnosis. Right. And what it tells me is that the one who entered this underworld did not come out shattered and wounded and lost. They came out as a mentor. They probably counsel everybody in their family, their friends, their coworkers, strangers even. They're great in crisis because the peace that they hold within, it can't be moved. This seed came out of this underworld with a wisdom, a knowing, a peace within them that cannot be shaken. And not becoming a mentor because somebody gave you that title. They've embodied that energy. They're at peace with their past. Their wisdom comes through a lived experience. So it's not something that can be learned secondhand. It can't be told or taught. It's not in books. You don't get a graduation certificate or a participation certificate. This is truth that is known through direct contact with the unknown. They're highly spiritual. They learn through physicality, through the emotions, through survival, through their senses, through feeling. These hands really stand out to me. It's a steady, calm authority, and it does not need to prove itself. Peaceful living. Truly, I get it. I really do. And this cave, it's it's kind of like a sacred initiation space inside this cave. It's like a portal, right? Between it's that place between worlds. It's where we see ourselves in the darkness without the mask. Everything we know slips away inside this cave. Everything familiar, everything we thought we knew and believed in slips away inside this cave. There's no lie, no mask to hide behind. It's where we meet ourselves, not who we've pretended to be or who we were taught to be or expected to be. It's where we meet ourselves in the midst of that pain and suffering. in the midst of those deep woundings. It's where we see the true reflection of our heart, of the character of our heart. It can't be denied. And a lot of people refuse to go into that space. But this one, I had no choice. It was birthed in the underworld. It had to come through this cave to get to this nectar here from the underworld. And it had to walk it. We had to walk it. It wasn't easy. It really wasn't. There's a lot of illusions in the underworld. You had to find the right door. The offering. It's that place where we recognize the shared roots, right? The shared roots, perhaps family, friends, coworkers, right? We also, it's that place where we learn what is sacrifice versus what is sacred. Because it's not about self-destruction over here, though it can be, and there may have been some self-destructive behaviors. We all run into them. Yeah. We're asked here to imagine if we gave our whole selves, right, to the highest good, not just those shiny parts of us, not just our wounded past, but our whole integrated self. To imagine offering that wholeness to the greater good. Because when we do that, something shifts within us. It really does. It reminds me of a time when I did volunteer work, working with youth at risk, right? There was a reward in that work that I am convinced you can find nowhere else doing anything else. There was a gift in that. And seeing eyes light up. And seeing those that have gone from hopeless and helpless to this beautiful, bright, independent light, there's something that happens there in the heart. What is it? The Grinch, right? It expands the heart 10 times when we offer ourselves to that greater good. It's almost addicting. I would have stayed there forever, but there really wasn't any pay in it, and even I needed food and wheels and a house and shelter and clothes. But it was one of the best times of my life, one of the most rewarding. And not that there haven't been other rewarding times, there have, they were just different. Like I said, there is something that happens within you when you give so freely for the joy of seeing others become whole, for the joy of seeing others remember the light and the power that exists within themselves. There's something that shifts there for real. In that offering. And that brings us to this tear. I can be a tear of gratitude, tears of joy, tears of thankfulness. But this tear, it's a holy tear. It's a sacred tear. They're the tears of letting go. The moments that we allow our emotions to move through us instead of fighting the resistance of that tide and being held back. Those tears soften us. They open doorways. They allow intimacy and vulnerability and truth to come forward. They really dissolve the armor here that would block us from this offering. That's why we must go through this tear. It's that moment we remember our own humanity, our own humility. We have to open and allow ourselves to be held, and embraced by that love, that forgiveness, that compassion, that grace. May have been times of grief, sorrow, disappointment. May have felt like sinking into despair in these times. But once we allow those tears to wash through us, right? It's a cleansing. They bring clarity. They remove the fog. We come out of this cave offering ourselves fully, wholly, in integrity to that light within us, untainted, undistorted by the betrayals, the shape shiftings, the shaming, the shunning, the gaslighting. What is this over here? Devaluation. Boy, wouldn't they like to devalue you? The most precious stones and the most precious gems are buried deep within the mountain. Yeah, you can scale the sides, chip off few pieces, few crumbles. You might find something here and there, weathered and worn, cracked, crumbled. Deep within. That's where the rarity comes from. It's not found on the surface. It's far beyond what meets the eye. The busy mind, the busy mouths, the busy hands. Too busy to see that depth, that rarity. Too busy shaming, betraying, shunning, shape-shifting, gaslighting, devaluing. They're not going to see you. They don't want you to be seen. And that's why the Father and the nectar are here. Because you have been seen. You have been seen. And this divine masculine brings in the nectar, that sacred elixir. It's infinite healing. It's miracle energy. Though it's subtle, very easily overlooked. But it restores us. It restores our spirit, our mind, our body. It rejuvenates us. It rejuvenates our passions, our dreams. This shamed dreamer, this shunned leader, this betrayed king, this betrayed king, the one with the magic elixir that everybody is looking for. Imagine betraying the one source of this nectar in search of the nectar. I'm going to get all the nectar. I'm going to get it all. I'm going to have it all. And then I'm going to sell it out for triple the price. You just betrayed the source of the nectar. Now what you going to sell for triple price? The shamed dreamer, the shunned leader, the betrayed king, through lack of boundaries, shape-shifting, gaslighting, constant devaluation. This elixir is here to regenerate, to restore, to bring back and balance the scales and give the value that is deserved where it is deserved. You've been undervalued, probably taught to undervalue yourself, depending on how long you spent in that underworld. really. I know I spent about 19, 20 years there. Took me about another 25 years to dig out, but I did it. You come out really not feeling very valued for the gift that you bring, for the love, for the light, for the caring tenderness, the gentleness. Yeah. The fact that you carried that through there at all is miraculous. It really is. So it's really a call to identify, right? To find those people, those places, those practices, those rhythms that regenerate us, right? That bring in that life, that bring in that joy, that light that spark of passion and curiosity, of wonder and awe, right? For life, that remind us of the purity and the innocence and the value of that child within us. I've always loved how children, everything is big to them. Everything. When I was growing up, even the crayons in school, they were fat, you know? They were fat. The letters around the tops of the walls, they were all big, bold pictures and letters. Everything was big. The tiniest little bedroom to a little kid seems big. It's pretty cool. But it's this elixir that restores us. And it's this Father. This could have even been father wounds in this underworld. Those experiences that betray us in causing us to believe that the masculine is a wicked, evil thing, that it's forceful, right? That it's demanding, that it's controlling. And then we come out, we go through this cave, we recognize the true potential and the character that we still hold to this day. Reciprocity. Don't be afraid to ask for your value. And I know that is a thing for many, but this is a call that says it's time to recognize your value. To ask for that value in return. And to know that those who do not want to give that equal reciprocity, you're not their person. They may not have it to give just yet. They may never have it to give. This masculine, this underworld, may have appeared as the failure. This distorted father figure, the distorted masculine. But it's those very limitations to our perception and experience of the masculine that separation from the divinity of it that really allows this child, that this seed that's planted here, to grow beyond the family tree, beyond the family roots, the generational karma. It's that distortion that teaches us to become our own sovereign authority, right? We step into our sovereignty. We begin to declare our value because now we see the character, the true character that has risen out of this underworld, and we recognize the worth and the value of that character. We recognize the rarity of the gift that we carry. The thing is, the earth angels come out of here at peace with their past. And like I said, this peace can't be shaken. It can't be stolen. It can't be taken. We like our peaceful little path. Those who were born or lived or survived that underworld, who chose to go through this cave, who accepted the offering of the divine, who surrendered, right, and allowed those tears to become cleansing. They don't want to give up their peace. And you don't have to. Because this path, these are the ones that are in peace in the midst of the chaos. When I pulled these shadow aspects here, right, I also pulled the virtues. I have a deck of virtues over here. There's about 144 of them. And so each one of the wounds was really paired with a virtue. Serenity. Well, we have selectivity, tolerance, receptivity, thrift, reciprocity, reassurance, spontaneity, and serenity. Here, I knew there was serenity there. But what they tell me is that the wounds that were there in the underworld, even as we walked into the cave, even as a mentor, these wounds are no longer running our lives. They're no longer running our nervous system, if that makes sense. Because all of these wounds have really been transmuted and integrated. These are those missing pieces, right? That we find the distortion of those gems within us, that once we transmute these, once we heal through these, there's a virtue that comes from that. It really acts as an offering from the Divine Father here, the Heavenly Father, Source, in recognition, this offering in recognition of the path that has already been walked, the journey from the underworld through the cave into the heavens. There was no escape. You had to actually embody it. You have to actually walk it, breathe it, live it. And that takes time in this physical realm. So it can feel long and arduous. It can feel lonely in the beginning, though to have this peace, this is not loneliness. You may treasure your solitude. You may treasure those moments of quiet stillness. Yeah. But what you survived, it didn't diminish you. It never diminished you. And that's what's so shocking to so many that tried to diminish you. They can't wrap their minds around it. Because that's what they're trying to do, is wrap their mind around everything. This is a journey of the heart, through the heart. Huh. Huh. What's really important, I think, to understand through it is that often oh, it's like many just don't see themselves as that earth angel. It's like they have a difficult time with that. And maybe that's why they have a difficult time asking for their true value, asking for equal reciprocity. I have been, and I have known many that if you try to give back to them, they reject it. They don't reject it. It's no, 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 no. I know. Because you just don't see yourself that way. So most often you resist what is being given, not because not always because you don't feel like you deserve it, but because of the humility that lives so deep within your bones. It's like in the marrow of your bones. Those earth angels could very easily slip into that category of the forgotten. And they could feel peace there because you've learned how to disappear without holding resentment. Because you know how to carry that love, that purity, that peace within you quietly. without needing to be seen. You don't need to be seen. You don't need to be praised. You know who you are. You know the path that you walked. And then you get that knock. Hello, we have one more offer. One more grand adventure. Will you accept this offer? To stand in your light, to declare the value of you. Humanity needs you. I know so many earth angels who it's like, do I really want to go there? Like, I'm living over here peacefully, right? Do I really want to go fooling around with those coming out of the underworld right now? Like, I'm just done. Like, I'm good with it either way. There's so many that it's like, nah, I'm retired here on earth. Kick back, enjoy my peace. When you get that peace, it really is priceless. It takes something big to move you. But I really feel like in this knock on the door, that what you're going to be moving into is something you could have never imagined for yourself. That we can call it the universe, source, the grand central sun, the creator of all things, the most high God. Has chosen a time such as this to call you out center stage, up front. Will you receive this offer? Will you stand in your sovereignty? Declare your light, your truth, who you are, for the path that you've walked, the gift that you've held within, the peace that you provide in your presence. Are you ready to receive your rightful reward, your true value? So, no, it doesn't take a fight. It doesn't take confronting anyone. What it does take is spontaneity and serenity. I have to read this with a looking glass. So, serenity, a state of being calm, peaceful, and untroubled, a clear coast or conscience. And spontaneity, make hay while the sun shines, living in the moment, emergent behavior in response to current events. And this one is the boon of silence and tranquility. That's interesting. It's going to take some spontaneity. Like I said, it's an adventure. You can bring your serenity with you. But what is coming in as an offer that I believe will be very exciting, very rewarding. What that offer will look like on the outside. It will be different from all of it for all of us. Oh, yep. Hmm. Serenity, spontaneity brings a gentleness to it, but it's very clear and an unmistakable call, really. It's no more retreating into familiarity, right? It's about having faith and trusting yourself to take a step forward, knowing that the peace you hold within is important too. So it's not dramatic or impulsive. It's not reckless. It's grounded. It's grounded in trust and faith. And for some, that might look like visibility. For others, it may be accepting a role that you've already been quietly fulfilling all along. I mean, Serenity tells us that you're stable enough to be seen. You're not going to lose your head, your ego. We know that. And spontaneity. I think I also have thrift over here. Frugal practicalities. Spontaneity. It's not risky behavior. But that moment doesn't last forever. When that spark comes in, you got to grab it. You got to go with it. You got to run with it. You got to have faith and trust and knowing that the peace that you bring within is enough. It's not a call to the ego. It really isn't. It's not even about self-promotion. It's like the divine is coming in and saying, "We see you, we've always seen you, and we are here to recognize your presence." Mm. Yeah. It's a call to allow yourself to be known, to be vulnerable, just enough to come, just enough to do what you came here to do. You don't have to abandon your humility. It's helping you. It is helping you. Just don't let it fall into that glorified burnout phase, that wound. Balance. Know your worth, declare your worth, receive your worth, be open to receive as much as you have been open to give freely, because this nectar is being poured in and it's a sweet nectar. It's a magic elixir. It brings all kinds of goodness. So you're not really being asked to become something else or, to dig through another underworld and go through another cave. No. You're really just being asked to stand where you are as you are, openly, trusting the light that you carry within. You get to remain whole, but it's that wholeness. That wholeness within you is an elixir within itself. So this recognition here isn't just happening in the unseen realms. It's not just happening in the spirit and other dimensions. I mean, it is happening all around you. You've been exuding it. It's been building up. Yeah. Taking that leap, whatever it is, whatever you've been presented with or will be presented with, whatever offer comes forward that recognizes the value within you, that wants to give equally, trust that. Trust it. Know that you have everything it takes, and it's not going to take your peace away. Know that. Something changes when you take that leap. And it doesn't just change inwardly, it changes your outward experience. This 3D, this knock knock. It's like part of the whole mission, part of the whole calling is allowing yourself to be seen. By being present, not hiding, not withdrawing. There is something within you that is as sweet and healing and rejuvenating and inspiring as this nectar. Don't shrink away from it. Don't devalue it. Because when you take that step forward, when you answer that call, when you accept your role of having survived what many do not survive, of having gone through what many refuse to even look at, you have become this mentor who deserves a whole lot more than what they have received. And when that mentor steps forward and takes their rightful place, it's like a lighthouse that finally turns its light on. It's not demanding attention. That light within you helps others find their way to the same healing, to the same awakening, to the same nectar. Those that are newly awakening, those who feel that call within them and they don't even know how to enter the cave. They don't even know that there's a thing called going within, of gathering all the fragmented pieces of themselves together and coming out whole. They don't know that. They need a living example to show them step by step. It's like children. They don't learn through lectures, they learn through observation, through repetitiveness. If you do it over and over and over and over again, the child will do it. Right? You don't even have to say anything. That's why they do the opposite of what we say. Because most of us say, do this, this, and this, and then we do something different, you know, but not this collective here. This collective's walked it, they've lived it. It's real. It's a real thing. And this nectar, this offering, this value is earned. You didn't run away. You didn't try to escape. You didn't bury your head in the sand. You accepted the underworld for what it was. You went in through that cave, the scariest place to be. It's pitch black in there. Yeah, you did it. You survived it. You came out with integrity, with love, with peace, with deep wisdom, with a quiet strength, gentle courage. Hmm. Yeah. This recognition could actually come as support from others, some way, shape, or form. Could be an opportunity. It could be an exchange between you and someone else. It's going to look different for everybody. But this time, choose you. Choose to be present. Choose to be recognized. It reminds me of these competitions that they used to have. I can't remember anything in particular, any name of competition, but where you see someone receiving a reward and they go, oh, me? Like they never in a million years could have imagined that they would be recognized in such a way. I feel that's the collective I'm talking to. Yeah. Yeah. Receiving your reward, receiving your just value, right? You're not losing your humility and accepting it. You really aren't. By standing up, you're showing others that are coming in behind you how to not only declare and walk in your value, but to stand and almost require it, right? To a degree, that equal reciprocity, that it must be balanced, it must be equal. Isn't that how we maintain peace? There's just one more step. You forgot to step up and receive your reward. It may have come through other shapes and forms and ways in the past, and you just in this cave, in this underworld, didn't recognize your own value yet. But I feel like I'm talking to people who do. They've just entered this stage of serenity. And it's like, you're going to make me lift my feet and go walk down there. I don't want to go down there. I don't want to walk up on the stage. I don't, I don't want to go to that party. Just have them mail it to me. No. You can take your peace and your serenity with you. This isn't one of those adventures where you're gearing up to go into battle, to defend, to protest. No, there is an offer coming. And it's truly coming from Source, from God, from the Most High, from the Creator of all things, from your angels. You've stored up the dragon's hoard in your heavens. And to see them manifest in this earth, you're going to have to stand up and turn your light on for more to see. And that's okay. I think it's going to be way more than you could have ever imagined it would be. And just know that when the lighthouse turns its light on, both the land and the sea respond to that. You can trust that signal. And people are going to be guided to you, some in the most unexpected ways. Your path wasn't for nothing. It wasn't for naught, right? It wasn't just for you to come through and gather all your pieces together and go unseen or forgotten. You have not been abandoned. Like I said in the beginning, you've been on standby, developing patience and peace. I just don't think that Source or the angels or our higher selves ever expected these little humans to get so comfortable in their peace, in their place of serenity, right? It's like the Gen X jokes that you hear. Like, yeah, I'm not been there, done that, built the block, built the roads. We're not doing it again. But we don't have to do it again. And that's what's so great about this. Really is. So I know this has been a slow one. I thank you all for being here with me. I really do, for hanging out. If you feel like this is you, I'm with you. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you confidence. I don't think you need courage. I think you got a lot of that. You definitely have a peace that passes understanding, right? But you're worth so much more. And I think this is spirit recognizing that. I really do. I feel it very deeply. So I will leave it here as I return your energy to you, pure and whole, and receive mine back, pure and whole, so that only love remains.